Welcome back to another episode of Sippin' Sunday, the podcast. I'm your host, Amber, aka the Adulting Queen. Whether you are tuning in while you're drinking your morning coffee, you're winding down with a glass of wine, or you're somewhere in between, I am so excited that you're back for another episode. Today, I am sipping a s'mores cold brew from Dunkin' Donuts. S'mores is one of my favorite flavors, and if something has a s'mores option, I'm going to get it. I also have my chocolate wine from Cooper's Hawk in my I Can't Adult Today glass. That wasn't planned, but as I kept going through to get this episode together, I was like, I need another beverage after the coffee has subsided and kicked in. So, how was everybody's week? How have you been? My past 2 weeks since we last spoke flew by, as I knew they would because I was preparing for Sippin' Sunday Live. Yay! And I also had so many regular work meetings because I was off most of last week. So, trying to get a lot done before the days off. What I don't like though is that my time off from work flew by, and now here I am preparing for work again tomorrow. Wild. But it is not a regular week at all. It is a day week. So I am off on my birthday and Friday. So short work week, but still preparing to go back to work for a few days. The birthday trip was canceled as we discussed in the last episode, but my dad came through. So I will be doing a little staycation and going to the spa for my birthday. Very excited about that. First time at the spa. So we'll see how that goes. This Leo season just did not Leo season as it has before. And I posted a TikTok about this and people resonated with it. I don't know what it is, but here we are. I am excited about my birthday as I always am, but it just felt a little blah leading up to it. I guess this is year 30s. I don't know. I've never been here before, but that's what the vibe's giving so far. And I really think starting my 30s in the pandemic set the tone because I turned 30 in 2021 and that was not the birthday I thought I was going to get for my 30s, but here we are. People kept asking, what am I going to do for my birthday? And I'm like, when I figure it out, I will let the people know. And I also had to get through Sippin' Sunday Live before my brain could even think about the next thing. My adulting win this week is that I'm trying a new app to track my money. It's called Weekly. I think this one will work out for me because I can use emojis for the categories and it gives you a weekly view of how much you can spend. And seeing my money monthly is just not something that's helpful for me. Like, I can't say, oh, I make this amount this month. This is how much all my bills are in the month. I need to see it per paycheck. So that's how I had it broken down when I was writing everything out. But the app Weekly is weekly, hence the name. So let's see how that goes. I have my monthly bills tracked accordingly. What really throws me off is all of the miscellaneous spending and keeping that in order. But every day we are just trying to be the best adult we can be. And before we get into talking about living your best life as an adult, let's recap Sippin' Sunday Live. It was a great time. A huge win is that it was a whole new audience with one repeat attendee aside from my family. So I feel like that was super cool to see and reflect that it was a whole new crowd of about 30 to 40 people versus the last time that group of 50 or so was just all new people. So that's amazing. And I had all new vendors, bottled Blackstone Brothers Distillery, Coffee Club Social, Ceremony Coffee, Equanimity Tequila, and Hopscotch Bottle Shop. So make sure you follow them and support their businesses. Everybody was amazing and they contributed to the vibe for sure. But I think that Hopscotch Bottle Shop was a huge hit because everything is non-alcoholic. They have spirit-free spirits and they had the non-alcoholic beers, wine, so the mimosas, the Corona Colada. That's what I was drinking. If you see pictures of me with a Corona bottle, it's non-alcoholic. I was not just drinking Coronas out here like that. It was the Corona Colada, which was like a pineapple and orange juice mixed thing. It was pretty good. I liked it. And he does have a brick and mortar in Fells Point, Baltimore area. So check him out when you make a visit. Bomu Events team set up everything beautifully once again. I found them off of Instagram when I was planning for the first Sippin' Sunday because I wanted to find people that were going to be able to help me with all the things because I could not do all the things. and they really bring your vision to life, and they help you to have a seamless event. They took care of checking people in, getting the vendor set up, my social media content, breaking down the event, literally everything. All I do the day of Sippin' Sunday Live is show up, get on stage, and talk. That's it. Me and Belmo, we go together real bad, and they are forever employed by me. So if you need an events team, please follow them. It's Bomu Events, and let them know that I sent you. And anyone that you follow because I mentioned them, please let them know that that's why you're following them, or that's how you found them, because that just helps build my referrals and eventually get to the big businesses. So let everybody know that I sent you when I send you. And I also don't send you all to people that like I don't like or have enjoyed. I mean, everybody has their own personal opinions when you try food places, drink places, different experiences with people, but I don't give people to people that would be poo. That's just not what I do. And going on to the host, my dear friend Sharif D. King hosted once again, asking all the great questions and facilitating the conversation. I feel like this one was probably about the same amount of time, like an hour and a half or so on the stage, but I feel like it went by quicker than the first one. And I like that the conversation was different, but it just went by so quick. There's just feels like there's never enough time up there, or even when I'm doing the podcast, but here we are. That's what keeps the people coming back. And Nika Nelson was my guest speaker. She's a Baltimore native and owner of Nika's Cupcake Bar. So go check out her cupcakes, order. Shout out to DJ Huxtable setting the tone for the tunes, and Ruskin Media for the photos and videos. I'm just eternally grateful for everyone that contributed to make the day a success. Even from January, Sippin' Sunday Live, shout out to DJ Spotlight, the drink vendors, them are Cask and Cane Rum and Monita Tequila. The photographer was shot by G. So please just support all these businesses by following them or sending their pages to someone. Like, January 1 doesn't feel like that happened this year. Like when I kept telling people like I'm doing Sippin' Sunday Live again, this is the second time this year. In my brain, it just wasn't making sense. Like in my brain, I'm thinking that the January Sippin' Sunday Live was last year. It wasn't. It was January 2024 and August 2024, and that's it. We're not getting another one this year. Yeah, we're not. So stay tuned for the next one. And otherwise, all things Sippin' Sunday Live, like it was really, 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 really great. All the recaps are on my social media. Different vendors have posted stuff, so please take a look at that. And if you missed it, I hate that for you. I'm sorry, and I hope to see you at the next one. It will be in early 2025, so just keep tuning in and following me on social media so that you don't miss the next one and you know when the date is. You can plan accordingly, all the things. Anyone that has attended has had an overwhelmingly positive experience, and just overwhelming to me, all the feedback that I get in the day of and just like the days following, months following, weeks following, all that stuff. So please make sure that you can attend the next one. Hope to see you there. And my main goal of this event is just for attendees to connect with each other and leave inspired to keep navigating adulting, because it's a time. So far, I'd say that I'm 2 for 2. I think that definitely happened in both events, and will just continue to keep happening in the future. Coming back for the third time in early 2025. So stay tuned, and thank you again to everybody that has attended so far. Plus, you all, the listeners, the watchers, if you're on YouTube, because there's no podcast without you. I mean, it could be just me, but all I'd be doing is talking to myself, and that is not how this continues to grow. So thank you for being here. And so, like I said, getting into this week's episode, we are going to talk about living your best life as an adult. And in this economy, in the state of the world, it's easy to feel defeated or like living your best life is impossible. And I think and feel like, but more so like it's not a feeling. Like I think that this is pretty much a true statement, but millennials and Gen Zs feel more financially strained and overall pressure because it's just difficult to achieve basic needs like a job, place to live, groceries, etc. Any person I know that's complaining about adulting isn't necessarily complaining about something that like they made up that scenario or it's not a need. Like we are complaining about basic needs now, which is really the problem. Like that is a huge problem. And we are the new adults, so we're just trying to maintain and make the world a better place. But it's very hard when every day there's a new historical event happening. Living your best life, it's a phrase that we always are saying, we're always hearing, even the song, I'm living my best life, ain't going back and forth, you know the rest. But what does living your best life actually mean as an adult? And spoiler alert, it is not about having it all together or achieving perfection, which is not something that we say we have over here. We are just trying to make it day by day the best that we can. Living your best life is about embracing your unique journey and finding joy in every day and making choices that align with your true self. And let's highlight again, embracing your journey, finding your joy, your true self. Like, this is not about the person next to you, behind you, in front of you, your parents, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. It's literally about you and what you want for yourself and how you are navigating this, which I think is something that when we talk about adulting can become difficult to decipher because, for example, I'm here giving advice and stuff, but I'm not saying that everything I'm saying will resonate with everybody or everything I've experienced or all my advice will be what another person agrees with or does to get whatever level of adulting they want to get at. So you really have to navigate things for yourself and be able to think for yourself, make choices for yourself without all the noise, which is hard to do in this rat race of the world we live in, where things are just constantly go, 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 going. I just was saying myself, honestly, this week, I wish our brains had a switch because Sippin' Sunday Live was done on Sunday, August 11th. And then the next day, I'm like, okay, I think I want this date. I think I want this. I think I want that. And I'm like, I don't want to think about this right now. Like, I just want to turn the brain off. I have to clean. I have to work. It just off. We need an off switch. That is my suggestion box for the big man upstairs. Let's give us an off button. That's not, the end of your life. Give us just a pause so that we don't have to have all these racing thoughts all the time. That was my little side spiel, not on my script that I mapped out for today. But adulthood definitely seemed exciting when we were young because we wanted freedom and to do grown up things that we think we're being deprived of at the time. But when we become an adult, we're like, what is going on? Because no one told us about the struggles we'd experienced. A huge struggle we have right now is dealing with the uncertainty from career changes to health issues, never knowing how much gas is going to be on a given day. Like, I feel like we were all tracking gas, joking and being like, this is crazy for a while on social media. And then we just stopped because we're like, what are we going to do? Like, I literally just saw the meme that was like, what are we going to do? Walk? Like, we need gas to get places. Like, this is crazy. And also the unpredictability of life itself. It just feels like you're constantly facing the unknown. And this uncertainty can cause anxiety. It makes it difficult to plan for the future or feel secure in the present. And life is really a balance of like planning, being in the moment, trying to not hold on to the past or stay in the past, but think about like what has happened that worked, what didn't work, and like what can you use from the past to fuel the future and be present. It's a balancing act. We're octopuses just throwing up balls, trying to keep them all up and doing the best that we can do. And we know that in 2020, we entered these unprecedented times, and it does not seem that we have gotten out of these unprecedented times since. Like, this is crazy. But the key is learning to embrace the uncertainty rather than fearing it, focusing on what you can control, like your mindset, your reactions, and your actions. A lot of the things, when I'm even just playing for these episodes, I'm like, this is the same stuff kind of over and over again. But I do truly believe like these basic foundational things are what will help you in most situations as an adult. So if it sounds repetitive, I'm sorry, but maybe you just need to keep hearing it again. I know sometimes I do because it's kind of like if you read something once, it's not going to stick. You have to keep doing it over and over and over again and reminding yourself and thinking about it in the different situations. And the more proactive you are, the better your reactions will be in scenarios that you get in that your brain does feel very frazzled. And if you did the best that you could do for yourself in the moment with what you knew at the time, that's all you can do. Like, you can't be like, oh my God, I should have done. I mean, you can say I should have done, but in the moment, don't beat yourself up because of what you should have done. Just make the change for the next time. Also important to build resilience by staying adaptable and open to change. This doesn't mean throwing boundaries and communication out the window, but some things just might not be as big of a deal as you're perceiving it to be. And sometimes the things that we think are obstacles or really seems like it's challenging in the beginning can lead to unexpected opportunities and growth. That is not always what we want to hear in uncertain times, but it really is the truth. And the biggest way that I have seen people I know, myself, on social media experiencing this for sure is with a job and job loss, because you are needing a job to meet your basic needs and paying for things X, Y, and Z. But when you keep getting rejection after rejection after rejection, you're just like, what the heck is going on? And that creates very big, uncertain times. But it really is leading you to unexpected opportunities and growth and the path that you're supposed to be on. And you just really have to be open to all those possibilities and continue to express gratitude and know that where you are on your journey is where you're supposed to be at the moment. A huge thing that is constantly joked about on the internet, but is so real, is balancing all these responsibilities that adulthood throws at you. Like, how the heck are we supposed to live our best lives when we feel like we can't stay afloat? I just deep sigh, because it's really the driving feeling here. And it really resonates with me as well. From managing a career, taking care of your home, paying bills, raising kids or your pet, the list of duties seems endless, and it feels really easy to get overwhelmed by the amount of things that we need to be doing and juggling daily, which can lead to burnout, stress, and a feeling that there's just never enough time to focus on yourself or what you truly want to do for yourself. 24 hours in one day, that equals to 168 hours in 1 week. And then when you factor in work, you're spending 25% of your time at work. That's just your minimum 40 hours. But then you add on the time it takes for you to prepare for work and or commuting to work. Then if you're getting around 7 hours a night of sleep, that's 30% of your week just sleeping. More than half of your week, 30 plus 25, 55%, more than half of your week is gone. And then you're tired from that 25% time that you're at work. It's just a never ending cycle that you hopefully will stop when you reach retirement. To navigate this, though, it's crucial to prioritize, set a routine, and delegate where possible. Remember, it is okay to ask for help and say no to things that don't serve your well being. And you need to make time to do things that recharge you. Finding a balance won't happen overnight, but small, consistent adjustments can make a huge difference. We already know that careers, mental health, and money significantly tie into living our best lives as well. And I won't go back down that whole rabbit hole, but you can tune into a previous episode, Millennials and Gen Z's Top 3 Struggles as an Adult, if you haven't already, to help with those things, because that really is the driving factor of living your best life, because you need a job, you need money, you have those things, you still have like struggles if you're not making too much, if you're not making enough money, excuse me, and then like mental health, when your mental health decline, you just don't feel good. It's just cycles. Okay. So tune into that episode. I feel like that was a pretty good episode. One of my other solo episodes. So Millennials and Gen Z's Top 3 Struggles as an Adult. Living your best life is an ongoing journey of self discovery and growth. It's about setting goals, learning new things, stepping out of your comfort zone. But it is also understanding your why, what drives you, what are your passions, what do you want to contribute to the world. These are big questions, and the answers can change over time, which is completely okay. The important thing is to just stay curious and keep exploring. I think that if we ask kids, instead of like, what's your dream job, or what do you want to be when you get older, however, even though some of the kids are saying some unique things, like my godson, he said he wants to be an astronaut, but he wrote something else. I have to hold on, let me look at what it was, because it was something that was like, you can't do that, Zeke. That's not, I won't say it's unattainable, it's not realistic. He wants to be a motorcycle. When I grow up, I want to be, he said, I got two, a motorcycle and an astronaut. So like, we need to ask kids, what do you love to do? Or like rephrase the question of like, why do you like to color, or like what do you hope that you can do when you grow up? I don't know. I can't figure out how to ask it, and maybe that is it. But something that's just not like, what do you want your job to be? Because we're already asking them at such a young age about jobs and work, and then they think that that's like all they have to do when you get older. So thinking ways to ask them like what are their passions, what drives them in a kid way that will make sense will help them. But us now as an adult, think about those things of what drives you, what are your passions, what do you want to contribute to the world, what makes you feel good, and like how can you do that? And maybe you're in a job that pays the bills but it's not fulfilling you, or perhaps you're feeling stuck in your personal life. Whatever the situation is that you're in, take the small steps which will help you to get to what will excite you. It could be a side hustle, a new hobby, or even a career change. I love seeing all of the millennials and Gen Z getting back to the hobbies and doing things, because everything doesn't have to be a business or get you paid. It could just be something that's fun that you like to do, and that is great for you. And if you don't want to do that anymore in a month, that's okay too. Just keep going, figuring out how to keep your mental health where it needs to be so that you can be a healthy citizen of this world. Note, I did not say productive citizen of this world. I said a healthy citizen of this world. And then, lastly, which every time I'm doing this, I'm like, I could talk about this forever because so many things intertwine. But this is the last point we're going to make for this subject of today, living your best life as an adult. It also means surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, support you, and challenge you to grow. Whether that's family, friends, or your chosen community, the relationships you cultivate play a huge role in your overall well-being. In your overall well-being. But not all relationships are healthy or beneficial. Part of adulting is recognizing when a relationship is toxic or draining and having the courage to set boundaries or, if necessary, let go. And I will say to really assess this part for yourself again, because right now the word toxic, gaslighting, narcissist is just flying around, and people say words that like don't actually describe the situation accurately. So just make sure for yourself that this is what it is for you. Because you might explain something to somebody and they're like, oh my God, that's toxic. But like, is it really, or did the person make a mistake? Is it really gaslighting, or somebody like projecting their situation on you? Think about it before. Not negating all the people that really are narcissistic, toxic, all that stuff, but just think in your own head first. And on the flip side of this, it is also about investing in the relationships that matter. And that could be regular check-ins with your best friend, spending quality time with loved ones, or joining a group that shares your interests. Run clubs are becoming popular, and that is not a group that I will be partaking in. However, I love me a little mental health walk, and I found city girls who walk in Baltimore, and their next walk is actually this Saturday, August 24th, so at 9 a.m. So if you see me out there, say hey. I went to their one they had last month, July. It really doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but it was in July and it was really great. We walked like almost 3 miles. This one's longer. It's gonna be like 4 miles, but whatever. I'll be there. So say hello. Building a strong support system is key to thriving as an adult. And let's not forget that relationships are not just about others, they're about you too. So, how are you showing up? Are you being the friend or partner that you want to be? And reflecting on these things can help you strengthen your connections, ultimately living a more fulfilling life. And as RuPaul has said, if you cannot love yourself, how is somebody else going to love you? And how are you going to build relationships with other people if you are not okay with you? Oh God, my nose is so itchy. So YouTube watchers, sorry. I itched it once and then it just never stopped. And this happened to me last week when I was outside. My nose was so itchy. I don't know what was happening. I don't have allergies. However, I could be developing them at 30s. I've never been allergic to anything. And now nose won't stop itching. I digress. This is this week's episode. Okay, there we are. We are done. I hope you enjoyed it. I did my best to try to make this a little longer because it is difficult when I'm talking just by myself to extend the episodes, but I think I'm doing a pretty great job at this. I hope that you're inspired to live your best life as an adult. As always, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, The Adulting Queen, very easy to find. Also, Instagram, Sippin' Sunday Pod. Again, sippin' with no G. There's no additional S's. It's sippin', no G, Sunday, no S, pod. I don't know what that is or why people be like sippin' Sundays, or they'll be like sipping Sundays podcast. Yeah, Sippin' Sunday Pod. Everything is in the show notes or below in the caption for you to click, and make sure that you rate the podcast. Oh my God, words. Rate the podcast, please, and share this with somebody that needs help navigating adulting. If you have questions that you want answered on the podcast, or you have a topic you want to discuss, please DM me. I will do it on the podcast. And I think on one of these things, Apple or Spotify, you can comment or do something. I don't know. I literally record, post. That's all I got in me. Okay. So I think you can comment or something on Spotify. If you can do that and you see that, do that. Great. Thank you. And I actually forgot to mention that I'll be a speaker at the Afros and Audios podcast conference in Baltimore, October 18th to 20th, this October 18th to 20th. The conversation is going to be about curating community, engaging audiences, and building connections. A big shout out to Avina, the host of the Confession Corner podcast, for asking me to join her panel. If you're a podcaster or an aspiring podcaster and you want to attend, DM me on any social media platform for a discount code. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I saw this conference last year after it had already happened, and I was like, I definitely want to go this year. And then I got an opportunity to speak at it. So look at God, okay? Put out what you want to do in the universe, and it will come for you if it's for you. And from what we discussed today, these challenges of adulthood are real, and they can sometimes feel like they're holding you back, but with the right strategies and support, you can navigate through them and continue to build a life that you love. Living your best life as an adult isn't about avoiding challenges, but about learning to thrive despite them. And it's not also putting them to the side, or like, oh, like I almost said avoiding again, ignoring them, or saying that it's not okay to say life isn't going how you wanted it to, or that everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows. It's a balance. Everything's a balance, always. My nose, oh my God. I don't know why it's so itchy. I need to get back to the doctor. Schedule your physicals. Year is ending. I know that's on my list to go to the doctor for a physical again before the year's up. And my dentist appointment is next week. Very excited about that. I love going to the dentist. I keep my teeth together, okay? And I went to the eye doctor. So yeah, schedule all the doctor appointments because the year is over in September, October, November, December, 4 months. So get yourself together. Use that health insurance because you pay for it. Lastly, the key takeaway from this episode is it is possible to live your best life as an adult despite it being ghetto, but you have to choose to take the steps for yourself to get there. And your action item this week is to plan out the rest of your year. Take your PTO, figure out holiday plans, because believe it or not, the holiday season is coming soon. These stores have Halloween candy out. They have fall stuff. It has been out since July. I don't like that. Really, the end of June. That's crazy to me. I am a fall girl. I love seasonal stuff. I have already made at-home pumpkin spice creamer, but that's in the comfort of my home for just me, myself, and I. I'm not trying to go to the stores buying all of the fall stuff in July. Like, let us live. Let us have our summer, please. But planning out for the rest of the year, figuring out your holiday plans, all that stuff, this is the time, because that is a time of the year that demands a lot from you. Is really busy. Lots of stuff's going on, Friendsgivings, family gatherings, work is playing, we're trying to get deadlines. So just prepare. So adulting doesn't stop. Prepare so that you can save a lot of stress for yourself. And lastly, this is really the last thing. As we always end the episodes, our song for this week is Jill Scott Golden. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be high stepping, y'all letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden.